people. As I said in haunt prep, I had 3 different announcements, or an update and a couple of announcements to make. First announcement is we have changed our evening hours slightly. Normally we are open 6:30 to 11. Starting this year, we will be closing an hour early at 10 o'clock instead of 11. Reason being is, except for Halloween night, we don't get very many people after 10 o'clock. So, it's kind of pointless to sit out in the cold and usually the wet and freeze when we got no one here. Halloween night also says on our hours and stuff for this year that we will be closing at 10. The caveat with that, though, as long as we have people here, we will stay open. As long as we have people coming, we will stay open. But if there's no one here, we will be closing at 10 p.m. Also wanted to do a reminder, since we're talking about hours, if you happen to drive by Halloween, which is our busiest night, normally there's a heck of a waiting line on a Halloween night for people to come through. And if you don't want to wait in the line, we are open on November 1st, 6:30 to 9. And you can come down then and pretty much have the place to yourself. We're not very busy on November 1st. But, if you don't want to have to wait in the line Halloween night, come on down. Second announcement, or this one's more of an update. It's a medical update. Sue Ann, a.k.a. the set dresser, a.k.a. my wife, she's a young lady that you meet at the gate. She lets you into the haunt. If you're a follower of the vlogs, last year, this year, I made a lot of comments. Sue Ann's not feeling good, she's out of it, what have you. She started last June going through some medical things that heavily impacted her health. She was getting some very serious infections, something that she's dealt with most of her life, and usually oral antibiotics, nips it in the bud, and, she's fine for a month or 2. Last June, she got one that was so bad that oral antibiotics weren't working. And we ended up having to take her up to the hospital, and they had to give her a much stronger antibiotic via IV in order to, in order to, get rid of the infection. July, happened again. August, it happened again. September, twice, it happened. We took her up, she got the IV antibiotics, she was fine for about a week, and then it came right back roaring like a lion. So we were in and out of the hospital quite a bit last year, even during setup. Late September, 1st of October, they noticed her lymph nodes. They're the part of the body that deals with colds and infections and whatever, were swelling a bit, and they weren't sure why, so they started doing some tests. November, we got results of the last of the tests then. Sue Ann has lymphoma, which is a type of cancer, a very serious type of cancer. When we talked to them in November, they said it was only stage 3, not to worry about it. They could treat it, with doing pills and what have you. But to be safe, they wanted to do a bone biopsy. as well to make sure the lymphoma hadn't migrated into her bone marrow. Results from that came back, and they ended up upgrading her from stage 3 to stage 4. The lymphoma had moved into her bone cancer. Since then, she's been doing chemotherapy. She has her good days. She has her bad days. So we're just playing it year by year and following, what's going on with the chemo and what have you. I don't know how much you're going to see her in the setup vlogs. And depending on how her health is, it might impact the haunt. We are going to be open October 24th through November 1st. Sue Ann's health, permitting. If she has a bad day and just can't run the gate, well, I'll post something, earlier in the day saying, hey, we will be closed tonight, due to medical reasons or health reasons or, something like that on our Haunted Tents Facebook page. So make sure you check on that. But, that's going to be the caveat for this year with the haunt, and the haunt being open is Sue Ann's health. The third thing, and this is going to affect the haunt. This may be our last year for doing the Haunted Tents. This will be our 21st season. I wanted to do a minimum of 25 years with the haunt. But donations have been falling off pretty steadily the last couple of years. And now with Sue Ann's health problems and the medical bills and stuff coming in, putting this year's haunt together, building new things and, what have you, just getting things ready was an extreme struggle for us. So I know we will be open this season, but this may be the last one. 2026 there may not be any Haunted Tents setups. So if you haven't come down, if you've been wanting to come down and see the display, come down and see the display this year, as we may not be around next year. I won't know until first part of November whether we're going to be bagging it or not. I know our charity isn't going to like that. They get a little bit of our funds or of our donations. But no, donations have just dropped off so bad. 2019 and 2020, we were averaging just under $4,000 in donations each year. 2021, we did 1,004, and then 2022, it went down. 2023, it went down, and it kind of leveled out. 2024, we did about 1,200 in donations from $4,000. So it has significantly dropped. And without Sue Ann's health problems, we probably scrape by and try to keep going. But the only way we're going to, with her health problems and the medical bills we've got, no, we can't. More important paying her medical bills than, doing the haunt. The only way we will be able to stay open, past this year is with donations. We need help from you guys. Even if it's a quarter, 25 cents. But the amount of people that we get through, if everyone put 25 cents in, it would help. We're not asking you to spend half your paycheck or anything. Drop a quarter in, drop $1 in, what have you. Every little bit helps. Please, we enjoy doing this, but we just can no longer afford doing it. We need your help. So please, if you're going to come to the event, You know, it's still free to go through. You know, if you just can't afford to do donations, because I know the economy's bad and everything, that's fine. We're a free haunted house. You know, we have the donation can out there so people can help. And right now we need help. So, but you know, come on down, have some fun. So, anyway, I've said my piece. I'm going to get into rambling. We don't need that. It's time to get into setup. Next clip will be the opening clip for the Haunted Tents 2025 Day 1 setup. Well, good morning. Welcome to September 3rd. And welcome to Day 1 of the Haunted Tents setup. It is 6:15 in the morning out here, so it's a little early. And Kaylee, what are you doing? She came out, sat down in the garden. She's chewing on grass. There's a way to start. We're just getting out here. We're checking the temperature for today. It's supposed to be up around 100. So I want to try to get as many of the tents set up as I possibly can before it gets too hot. Which we should be able to do. Here, we're going to turn this around. As you can see, driveway's empty. The front yard's empty. And we got a trailer in the way. Until we're done with work here in about 2 weeks, I can't do anything with the driveway. We are going to be focusing mainly on the front yard. And I'm sorry if you're getting kind of a weird camera angle. I've got my selfie stick in a different configuration. I gotta get used to it. For today at least. But I kind of show this every year. The layout of the haunt. It starts at the curb there. Runs all the way through and actually into the garden where my partition panels are, which I showed in yesterday's vlog, Haunt Prep. It goes right up against the house. That's the area of the haunt that we're going to be working on today, or starting on today. We won't get it finished. We've got our 20 by 20 tent, which is going here. We've got two 10 by 10 tents over by the fence, and two 10 by 10 tents. They're going up on this portion of the grass by the curb. And Kaylee's roaming and watering things. Anyway, we're going to be working on that. The driveway, our queue line goes down the grass here. Entrance is there. Exit is here and runs from this crack clear down probably about halfway through where the trailer is. The trailer's not in position, as I already explained. Got a lot of stuff to do. It's still slightly too early to be assembling the 20 by 20 tent because of the noise it makes when you're putting all the piping together. But it's a perfect time to start moving things out. I got a lot of stuff to bring out just to put that tent up. So we're going to go ahead and start doing that. By the time I'm done with that, we can start assembling the tent. You are going to get some fast forward footage just like you do every year. This year we're going to be doing it a little bit different. I normally use my regular vlog cam for fast forward footage because of the tripod. The cell phone will not fit in that tripod. But I got to thinking, my selfie stick can be turned into a small tripod. So we're going to try doing the fast forward footage on the cell phone this year. So you're going to it's going to be a little bit different angle, a little bit different view. So you should notice a difference. Something that has become a tradition also with the setup vlogs, breakfast of the day. We need something. How about a 32-ounce Coke and a peanut butter cream-filled chocolate eclair for breakfast? Hell, have two of them. We need the sugar. We're going to be all over the place. And then maybe later today, for a snack of the day, we'll have some ice cream or slushy or something, because it's going to be up around 100. We're going to need to get cooled off. Who knows? We'll figure that out later. probably just one mule is good enough for you. But anyway, I'm going to put the phone down. Let's get started on the build.
Doctor, what on earth do you think happened to that poor boy?
Nurse, in all my years of medical practice, I've never seen anything quite so horrid. Doc, what happened to Jeff, man? What happened to Jeff, man? Your friend is very ill. Who did this to you, man? What's done? I'm telling you, Jeff. You've done it. Nobody does it.
What happened?
Now I have a story that I'd like to tell about this guy. You all know me as me scared as hell. He comes to me at night after I crawl into bed. He's burnt up like a weenie and his name is Fred. He wears the same hat and sweater every single day, and even if it's hot outside, he wears it anyway. He's gone when I'm awake, but he shows up when I'm asleep. I can't believe that there's a nightmare on my street. If I remember it right, and we had just gotten back off tour last night. So the gang and I thought that it would be groovy if we summon up the posse and dumb rush the movies. I got Angie, Jeff got Tina, Reddy Rock got some girl I've never seen in my life. That was alright though, cause the lady was chill. Then we dipped to the theater.
Well, I think that's enough fast forward footage. And it's now 11:15. We've been at it a little over 4 hours, almost 5. And the reason why it took so long, because normally it's about 4 hours. I'm taking breaks. It's when I got out here at 6:15 this morning to start hauling stuff out, it was 69 degrees. It felt nice out here. It is now 89 degrees. And I was just looking at the weather, they're forecasting 102 instead of 100. So it's going to be a hot one today. I'll be taking a lot of breaks. But got all the tents up. And for those of you that didn't see the vlog earlier, that's a new project we got installed. They're just not plugged in and don't have their light bulbs. But those are new lights for the blacklight room. This tent here is the blacklight room. And I've got 4 fixtures, each one holds 2 bulbs. It'll be interesting to see what they look like. Then we got this 10 by 10 up. It's going to be spider. That one over there is going to be chain, as well as a little bit of this one. And then a double tent here for pirate. And then see what else. In the corner there by the fence, it's going to be the tube hallway and werewolf. We're going to have witch there. And like I said, this is going to be blacklight room. So we're good to go. We're ready to start hanging partitions and stuff. And I'm doing those first. Those are my panels that will go down the fence line and then wrap around the front of the booth. I always do those first. It gives me a little bit of privacy in here when I'm building and I don't get bugged as much. So I'm gonna get my stuff put away. I think I'm gonna go in and grab some breakfast or lunch, or get the stuff put away I don't need out here, and then go grab breakfast and lunch, or breakfast for lunch, and then come back out and get back to it. I am gonna have an errand possibly later today, so I don't know. But anyway, we will get to it after I get something to eat. I'm hungry. Now, one thing I should have showed you before we got started, and I didn't, was the map, so you knew where I was working at, or what I was going to be working on. And that's this one here. This is the tent placement. I've got 1 tent. We might add actually we got 2 tents. They go out here on the driveway, and those won't be going up for about a week and a half. Due to work, I need to be able to get my truck and my trailer out. But we started off with this one here, the big 20 by 20. And I've got 2 10 by 10s, which are the white ones out there on the street. And then we put 2 blue ones in over here, over there, for the pirate. Okay. Now, what I'm going to be working on next and we'll go back to our general maze map. Is I've got to get what I call the exterior panels up, and they basically run from here over to here, down the front, and then all the way down to the back of the haunt, along the fence and the front out there. Hold on, sorry. Morgan had a question. But anyway, I'm going to start getting those panels up. Morgan's been out here while I was gone running my errands. She got one stack of partitions out, which I will need after I get those up. Those are all my, what I call my exterior panels. So I got to get those all up first. Then we'll get in and start actually doing some maze building with that. Well, we've made it someplace out here in all this heat. It's almost dinner time. Thank God. I'm hot. My shirt is soaked. Right there has been carrying skin panels out, and she carried a stack of partitions out. She's hot, she's sweaty, and her back's hurting her. I'm the same way. We haven't done too terribly bad. We got all the exterior panels up, and we got the half panels up, all but one. And that goes down here at the end, but it blocks the gate from opening and closing. So, like in years past, I leave it off until we're done getting into on the side of the house. I'm going to get started on it. I am not going to get it anywhere near finished. See, back to the map. This area here is a photo op. Okay. That's on the other side of that wall right there. And sorry for the whiplash. And then from here over to here is spider. We are going to start on the spider hallway. I've got a hallway here I need to do, and then a little stub wall here. I'm going to try to get that little stub wall in today and some of this hallway. When I do this hallway, it's going to be a freestanding wall. I'm going to have to brace it going across. And I don't know if I have the energy to do that tonight. You know, cut the bracing and stuff. So I may only just do this little section here and go out over a little ways and then leave it. I've also got a wall that comes out here. So I am going to try to get that done now. Okay, I did not make it as near as far as I wanted to today. But it's 6:15. I'm gonna go get dinner, and I am gonna call it quits early instead of staying out here till 9 o'clock. I've got all the fast forward footage to edit, and that always takes a couple hours. And I'd like to make it to bed semi-early tonight. I mean, I've been up since about 10 minutes to 5 this morning. So I'm out of it. But Morgan ended up getting a stack of partitions out. She got both spider and chain hall panels out. She still has spider and another stack of partitions to do. She's going to do that tomorrow. I got out here and I showed you what I did earlier. But this little bit here is about as far as I got. I am not moving quick at all. But this wall here where I started at stretches all the way down here. I'm going to need to brace it as I go. So I think we are going to wait until tomorrow. And what the hell do I have going on here? Oh, it's just a leaf. I thought the board was broken. But anyway, I am going to have to brace this as I go. And right now it's leaning a little bit. But we will do that tomorrow. For right now, I'm going to get my mess cleaned up, and then we'll go ahead and do the first end of the day wrap up for the season. Well, welcome folks to the first end of the day wrap up. And it's not dark yet. It's still high. I think it got up to 101 here today. Made it miserable. I think I took just about as many breaks as I did spend time with building today just to get out of the heat. It was bad. We also lost about an extra 2 hours due to my truck. Yesterday we were out running some business errands, and the truck took a crap on us. It's been a really dependable truck. We were able to jump the battery and get it in there. We weren't sure if it was a battery or a drain or something, draining the battery, and made it home. And then yesterday morning, actually the errands were on Monday. Yesterday morning, we took the truck in, and I had to hook up my battery charger to it to charge the battery enough to get the thing to fire up. Got it into the shop, got word this morning, battery. We were thinking it was both us and the technicians, when I was explaining to them what was going on with the truck, thought it was something in the computer for the truck. And they're going through checking everything. He said, yeah, we got a couple of bugs here, a couple of bugs there, but nothing that's going to cause this problem. And they went and checked the battery, and it had a dead cell in it. So they called me this morning. It was right after we got done with the tents. Said, well, you can come get your truck. Did that. And since it crapped out during our Monday work errands, I had to go finish work errands. And I was gone for about 2 hours doing that. I got home. When I left, it was just hitting 89. When I got home, it was 95. And that was at 2 o'clock. By 3:30, 4 o'clock, it was 100. 101. I think it was the official high. I haven't looked. But with all the breaks from the heat and the truck and the business errands, which I wasn't supposed to have today, it ate into the build. We got the tents up. We got the exterior wall panels up all the way around. And I showed you that earlier. And I got a total of what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 partitions up for the maze. That's as far as I got today. I should have had a hell of a lot more done, but losing the 2 hours with having to pick up the truck and do the errands did us in. As to tomorrow, day 2, we do have a couple of errands we need to do around lunchtime. One of them is Halloweeny. We're picking up a tall bin of mixed pumpkin, and we're going to take you along for the ride. So you'll get to see that. I'm not going to show you the other errands. They're non-haunt related. They're personal. So no, you're not going to get behind the scenes look of our personal life. You get enough of that in my vlogs as it is. But anyway, we've got that. Then we'll be working probably a little bit before we leave on the errands on the haunt. And then when we get back and get the pumpkin unloaded, you'll get a look at that. And then we'll be working on the haunt again. And we'll see where we can get to tomorrow. So with that, I'm calling it quits. Oh, another reason why I'm calling it quits early. It's only going on about 6:30. And like I said, I'm normally out here till 9. But on day 1, I have all that fast forward footage of the tents going up. I've got to add it, and that takes a long time. I got a new computer, which helps, but still takes a long time. So I'm calling it quits early for that, and I can get things edited, take a shower, and go to bed. I'm tired. I'm beat. The heat's wore me out. Stay spooky. Stay toxic.